Well. Unbelievable. Guys. This World Cup just gets better and better. What a game we just saw there. Argentina 2, Nigeria 1. Messi and Marcos Rojo, an unlikely hero, saving Argentina. Argentina go through. They go through with the skin of their teeth.
I know.
Rory, what did you make of this game? We just watched upstairs. It's hard to get around
it blew me away, really. I think that Argentina should think themselves very, very lucky. There's no doubt that they're so lucky. I think that one of the things that I've taken from that straight away is that Angel Di Maria shouldn't play another minute of football.
He didn't have the best game.
No, I don't think he should play another minute of this World Cup.
Guys, if you just joined us, thanks for joining us. It's a post-match reaction here. Get your questions in on YouTube. We've got all the comments coming in here. We're talking through that game there, Messi's performance, Rojo, as I say, the unlikely hero, the likes of Di Maria, terrible performance, Nigeria potentially being unlucky. As it stands after that game, so Croatia have gone through, top of the group, they beat Iceland 2-1. Argentina, as I say, skin of their teeth to go through second. Nigeria and Iceland finishing third and fourth. I mean, I feel bad for them. They're unlucky in a sense. They played well tonight, Nigeria, but they didn't take their chances.
No, and they had chances. The thing is, they had chances. At 1-1, Igalo had 2 very good chances, really good chances. And if he tucks even one of them away, I think the game's out of sight, because I don't think that this Argentina team has the minerals to come back if they were a goal down.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, we watched and did a post-match reaction when Argentina were humbled by Croatia 3-0.
Yeah.
Dreadful performance. They looked a very different team in the first half tonight. They were pretty impressive, I thought. Obviously, Messi with an incredible goal.
The thing is, he can do things like that. It doesn't surprise. I almost feel bad because I don't feel like we even need to give this.
You take it for granted.
Yeah, you take it for granted, absolutely.
Yeah.
We could sit here and wax lyrical about Messi's brilliance all night, but everyone knows. Everyone knows how good he is. Everyone expects that. He was very unlucky not to score a second with that free kick.
Potentially,
incredible save.
Great save.
Incredible save.
But he didn't have the best second half. I think, obviously Nigeria got that penalty early in the second half. It looked like Argentina were on the ropes in a sense. Nigeria had a few chances where they could have won the game, but Messi wasn't as influential. They couldn't get him on the ball.
No.
It felt like, the game plan that was working in the first half wasn't really going to plan in that second half.
And I think also credit here has to go to Nigeria for getting it right.
Oh, yeah.
I think they gave him too much room early on, and they worked that out, and then they kept very tight to him, crowded him out, and made sure that he didn't have any time or space on the ball. I think that as much as Messi perhaps faded in the second half, and we can give him a bit of grief for that, I think that the real blame for that actually lies on the surrounding teammates. If you're a man, if you're the talisman, and you're being crowded out, what that should do, it should do the rest of the team a massive favour. If you put 2 men on me, that means somebody else isn't marked, and somebody else should make the most of that.
I mean, it's something we mentioned in that loss to Croatia, just how poor the teammates around Messi have been. Obviously, the focus is always on Messi. Can he lead this team? Can he fire them to the next round? I mean, he obviously got that crucial goal that opened the scoring in the first half, and it was an incredible goal. But the likes of Di Maria, who you mentioned earlier, dreadful performance. Mascherano, one of the veterans of this team, it was a dreadful performance.
But nobody looked good. Nobody, Higuain's a player I rate.
And he missed a glorious chance towards the end. And in the end, it was left to Marcos Rojo, of all people, to score the goal that sent Argentina through. An amazing finish.
Weak foot, volley, unbelievable.
A terrible performance as well. I mean, there was an argument that maybe he could have given away a penalty. Was that a penalty for you when it sort of ricocheted off his hand?
No, I think the ref got that one right.
Yeah.
I was optimistic that it was going to be given, but...
you were supporting Nigeria in this game?
Of course, yeah. Supporting Nigeria passionately. But yeah, that wasn't a penalty for me. But I in a way, watching it the way that we did, I felt a bit sorry for Messi. He felt very isolated. He looked very stranded. I think that the tactics employed by Sampaoli make absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
They look better in this game.
It's FIFA. It's me and you playing computer games. I need a couple of goals. I know what to do. I put 5 forwards on and 5 defenders on and hope for the best after that.
This is the thing. In the first half, though, they looked a much better team than they did against Croatia. A very different team. Ava Banega comes in midfield. I don't think it's any surprise that he supplied that incredible assist for Messi's goal.
Of course.
They looked a lot more balanced. But in the second half, it was more of the same that we did see against Croatia. It all felt very disjointed. It's not a balanced team.
What you flagged there, and you're spot on, but what you flagged is when you play a midfield, better things happen. He didn't play a midfield against the best midfield in the tournament. Modric and Rakitic, the best midfield partnership in the entire tournament. He didn't play a midfield against them. What can Messi do? As we all know how good he is. But what can you do when you've got these tactics that are being employed by Sampaoli that make no sense to anyone.
I mean, man of the match, there's a debate there. I mean, JTTV in the comments here is saying Maradona for the man of the match. I mean, it was certainly an eye-catching performance from him.
Who's he swearing at? Does anyone know?
He was having a great time. I mean, he may have been influenced by certain things, but he's having fun out there.
He's having a great time, there's no doubt. I imagine it's...
I'd say he'd enjoyed that at the end there.
I hope he wasn't swearing at Nigeria fans, though.
Yeah, I hope so. I think he's just swearing at everyone in general towards the end. Some questions coming in here. People are asking France. They're going to face Argentina in the next round, in this round of 16.
France will be loving it. They'll be laughing their socks off at that.
Surely France are the favourites, I guess.
France are the clear favourites. They're such a balanced team. They have so many wonderful players, so many match winners as well. I think that's what makes them such favourites for this tournament. Is the fact that they have so many players who win games. You know, it's players like Griezmann who are used to winning trophies.
Well, hasn't had a great tournament so far.
Hasn't had a great tournament, but you know, he plays for Atletico. He won the UEFA Cup this year. He knows what it takes to win tournaments. You smirking at the comments is making me feel very uneasy.
No, it's all good. Yusuf Rahman is saying Messi and Dybala to start together, potentially in that game against France.
Yeah.
I'd say Dybala over Higuain at this stage.
Definitely over Higuain. I think
well,
the person...
Well, you've still got Aguero to contend with.
That's what I was about to say. It's Aguero is the person who I think makes a very strong case. He started the first game. He scored in the first game. I think that Aguero is such a gifted striker. The variety of goals sets him apart to anyone else, I think. You know,
so you'd start him?
I think if Sergio Aguero is available for me for any team, he starts.
He starts that game. As I say, guys, get your questions coming in. They're all flooding in on YouTube. We're going to try and get through them all as we react to this game and talk about the next round to come. I mean, elsewhere in the group, obviously, Croatia. Finishing top, maximum points from their group after being Argentina, Iceland and Nigeria. How far do you think they can go? That's a question coming in from Doran Zly. I mean, they're many people's dark horse of the tournament now. As you sort of mentioned earlier, probably the best midfield.
Best midfield in the tournament, no doubt. I think Doran's asked a really interesting question there, because I think firstly what we need to talk about is quite how impressive it is to finish top of this group. This is a very, very difficult group,
tough group,
very finely poised group. You'd say 3 teams very capable of going through, 1 team very capable of upsetting those odds.
Yeah, very much so.
To walk that group, to completely walk it.
Maximum points.
Yeah, they've done it at Cantor.
And they now face Denmark in the next stage as well, around the 16. So you would favour them to go through to the quarterfinals, and then who knows? Absolutely. Croatia they have the right components, I think. You know, when you look at the team across, they're very balanced, they're very well organised, they have that spark, you know, that moment of brilliance that you need, the player who can ignite a tournament, like you know what Maradona did for Argentina in '86. Should probably avoid talking about.
But you know what Zidane did for France in '98. You need that, and they have that in Modric and Rakitic. They really are good.
Tyrese Kabla says, Adam and Roy, do you think 4-4-2 formation is what Argentina should stick with versus France? It's hard to say. Obviously, the whole issue Sampaoli's got is balancing that team. It looked a lot more balanced in that first half when he made hard decisions, dropping Aguero, bringing in Messi, bringing in Banega. It looked a little bit more like it was functioning more solidly. Yeah,
I think the emphasis for Argentina moving forward in this tournament has to be on the midfield. I think whatever you do, you get the midfield balance. Look, the centre forwards can look after themselves. They're phenomenal players who are used to pinging in goal after goal after goal. They can do that. The defence needs to be worked on, but the midfield is where they're lacking. Everything now should revolve around, if you decide Javier Mascherano is the man for that central midfield role, which it seems to be. If they decide he's the man, what they need to do is get him playing with a partner who he's very comfortable with in a system that suits him.
Yeah.
If they don't get that right, if they lose that midfield, Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante are going to have the time of their life.
Yeah, I'd say on paper you'd have to favour France.
Well, Paul Pogba, games are generally won and lost in midfield battles. Paul Pogba's going to he's going to be over the moon with that, isn't he?
There's a question here from John about VAR. Now, obviously, it came into factor in this game. Kind of some dramatic moments. There was that penalty decision, obviously, against Rojo, we mentioned, wasn't given. We saw it last night as well with Ronaldo, with the penalty for Iran. I mean, what do you make of VAR in this tournament? For me, I'm all on board. I think it's more dramatic. I mean, we saw talking about off camera earlier how VAR, people were saying it was going to remove the debate around the game, remove the controversy in the conversation.
It's actually increased it. It's actually increased it. I support VAR wholeheartedly. I think it's very good. The only time I think we really need it, though, is when it's a clear cut issue. So not subjective.
That's what it's supposed to, yeah. It's
not
difficult,
subjective. So certain things, they're not. So I'll tell you when you need it. When you need goal line technology, it's what happened with Lampard against Germany 8 years ago.
Yeah,
that's when you. That's when you need. That's when you need technical assistance. These days, like, I don't think that you need technical assistance on every issue, and I think the thing that is worrying me slightly is after every potential foul, you've got players
clamouring for
VAR. And if they get their own way, obviously, we'll be having 4 or 5 decisions a half.
The thing about VAR is people, I don't know if it's a misunderstanding or, VAR, people seem to think it's going to solve issues in a black and white manner, whereas it's still up to the discretion of the referee. For example, the Rojo handball, he can review it as he wants, but it's still open.
That's still open, exactly. It's still subjective.
So they can still not give a penalty,
which I like.
Give a penalty. Yeah, he's still got the same drama. You've got him viewing it.
But where it's great is an offside decision. Yeah. So Spain,
something that's so obvious.
Yeah, and I think when your team lose or concede a goal that genuinely shouldn't have stood, and the opposition players know it shouldn't have stood, and it does. So imagine if we had VAR when Luis Suarez handballed it off the line versus Ghana.
Yeah, the bite as well.
The bite, that's where we need VAR.
Yeah.
But as a whole, talking about VAR as an entity, I love it. I've got no issue with it whatsoever.
Guys, just a few minutes here before we finish up our post-match reaction. So get those comments coming in, get the questions coming in here on YouTube. We have got Yusuf here on YouTube saying Banega, man of the match for him. He created 3 chances in this game. Obviously, as I mentioned, the assist for Messi as well, an impressive performance from him.
No doubt.
What else do we got here? James Lawrence Alcott himself out on the way to Russia, saying Rory insisting with the shorts. What do you make of that? Controversy. That's the most controversial.
The shorts seem to be getting a lot of press, a lot of criticism unfairly, in my opinion. But the clue's in the name. Yeah. They're called a short.
Well, James Lawrence also said, what do you think of Mascherano's performance? There's a reply here from Daniel saying, at James, it's a disgrace. I'm not sure if he's talking about Mascherano or the shorts. I'm not sure.
Possibly both.
Yeah. What did you make of Mascherano's performance? Because Esperan's here in the comments saying he should be dropped. I mean, for a veteran player, one of the most experienced players, it was a pretty shocking performance. I mean, he gave away that penalty as well, which almost saw Argentina knocked out.
But I don't think Argentina are in a privileged enough position to drop Mascherano. I don't think they can. I don't think they can do that. I don't think that a player of his experience can. I don't think they can risk playing a central midfield without him.
Yeah, I suppose Mascherano Banega, it's not a perfect midfield, especially based on what we saw from Mascherano tonight. But I think, as you say,
I think a player of his quality as well. He didn't have a good game, but a player of his quality knows what it takes to win. He's won everything. He knows what it is. He knows what it means to play in the biggest games. I think when you're playing against France, against some of the players at their disposal, I think you need a player like him around.
Yeah, Yusuf Rahman again saying you can't afford to drop him as a leader. James Miller saying who would they actually drop him for? Bilia didn't impress. So I think the thing is, Argentina, they are going through to the next round now. I think, they've got out of the group, which was probably the least you'd expect of them, even though it was a tough group. But the fact is, coming up against France, you'd expect them to get knocked out straight away. So it's just a stay of execution, isn't it?
That's how I see it. To be completely frank, that's how I think that will go. But I don't think that's how you'd see it if you're an Argentina fan. I think the way that you'd view it now is you'd go, we've lucked out, now it's game on. Now we're really going to turn it on.
This is our chance.
This is it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know, I put a tweet out actually when Germany nicked it.
Yeah.
Toni Kroos scored in the last minute, and the second that goal hit the back of the net, I tweeted, they're going to bloody win it now.
Yeah.
And I think that's the approach from the Argentina players. That's what they'll be thinking. You saw the fans in the stadium there.
Yeah.
By the way, they had so many fans in that ground.
Maradona especially.
Yeah.
He was leading the way. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you're wondering where James, Flav, Sam, the regulars are, they're out in Berlin, I think, at the moment. They're on the way to Russia. They're on the road, going all the way to watch England, Belgium. Make sure you stay tuned to this channel. Plenty of updates here. Also, the Ball Street Instagram. You can follow their journey there as well as on Twitter. For now, thanks so much for joining us for the post-match reaction. We'll be back throughout the knockout stages as well with more of these. But for now, Rory, thanks so much for your insight, the analysis you're offering. Where can the viewers find you?
Probably the best place would be on YouTube at CFC Fan TV.
Guys, go and check it out. Link will be in the description. For now, let us know what you think in the comments. Did Argentina deserve to go through? Can they get anything against France in the round of 16, or are they going to go straight out there? Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Ball Street, and we'll see you next time.